Welcome back, Bradenton, Kiwanis. So, wanted to give a couple of updates. Tomorrow, we're having our board meeting. If you haven't submitted your budget for your committee for next year, we need you to get that to Mike, Dave, or John, or Neil by tomorrow before the board meeting, because we'll be looking over those budgets for next year. The board meeting will be in this building downstairs by the snack bar. There'll be pizza served. If you're a board member, we'd love for you to be there. If you're not, you're also welcome to come if you'd like to be a part of it. We don't have any community service updates as of yet. So not today. We'll have some more next week probably. So I'm going to call up John Mullis so he can go ahead and introduce our guests and introduce our speaker.
Good afternoon, everyone. We have a couple of guests today, so when I call your name, please stand up so we can give you a welcome. So our first guest is Tricia Kaufman from Jewish Family and Children's Services. Welcome. And our second guest is Omar Edwards from the school district, guest to Henry Lawrence. Welcome, Omar. All right, our speaker today is the CEO of the Jewish Family and Children's Services of the Suncoast, bringing over 30 years of leadership experience across both nonprofit and for-profit sectors. Before joining JFCS, she was the CEO and president of the Jewish Federation of Greater Kansas City, and also she served as executive vice president of the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach, Florida. Her ties with Sarasota run deep, having lived, worked, and raised her children in the area in the 1980s and 90s. During this time, she held significant positions such as Associate Professor of the University of Sarasota, Executive Director of the Women's Resource Center, and Director of the Women's Division at the Jewish Federation of Sarasota Manatee. She also played a pivotal role in the establishment of what is now JFCS. She earned her bachelor's degree, master's of education, and doctorate from Temple University in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Please help me welcome Dr. Helene Lotman.
Well, what an impressive group. It's so nice to be here. Thank you. The last time I was here, I was meeting with Omar in Bradenton. So I've been in Sarasota area for 42 years, and I know very little about Bradenton, but I'm pretty impressed with the last 3 visits that I've had in the last month. So very exciting. And thank you for inviting me. So I wanted to speak to you about JFCS. I am privileged to be leading this organization that empowers individuals and families towards well-being and self-reliance. We provide mental health and human services through a lens of Jewish values such as tikkun olam, repair of the world, and pituach nefesh, which is saving a human life as if you have saved the world. This means our work is guided by Jewish values. However, we are not a religious organization. Therefore, JFCS serves all individuals regardless of race, religious orientation, gender identity, sexual orientation, or financial status. In fact, 85% of our population that we serve is not of the Jewish faith. We are committed to the flourishing of all human beings. Let's take a look at some of the array of services we offer. Basically, we work with at-risk and vulnerable youth, seniors, homeless veterans, and families. For example, in our programs, we provide respite through financial assistance for families at risk or losing their home, socialization and caregiver support for seniors with early onset of dementia and social isolation, a camping and diversion program for kids whose families have substance abuse disorder, a residential addiction treatment center called the Viper Program. We do support for Holocaust survivors and those in need of financial and emotional support through Jewish Connections. ADAP, which is Adolescent Diversion. It's a diversion program for youth who have had a brush with the law. Counseling, which serves our children, youth, family, mental health issues. And a fatherhood and relationship program. Let me tell you a few stories that will help exemplify what we do. James came to our Ignite Fatherhood program ordered by the Safe Children's Coalition. He and his wife were both addicted to opioids, homeless, and living on the streets with their 8-year-old son. Their son was sent to live with their grandparents in New York, at which time James entered detox and got clean. He then enrolled in the Ignite program, a place where he could develop skills to have healthy relationships and improve his ability to parent effectively. He found residence in a sober living house and began taking control of his own life. Through the Fatherhood program, we were able to provide him with a laptop with which he completed his GED. He is currently enrolled in college classes and is working full-time managing a pizza restaurant. He said, "I am finally able to be a husband and father again." A homeless veteran, his wife, and newborn baby, who was born with a deformity and needed blood transfusions, were living in a car. They came to our Fort Myers office looking for help. We immediately enrolled them in our veterans program called OMAP and moved them to a hotel. And within less than a week, we moved them into their own apartment where they were able to rebuild their lives. On another note, I want to share with you a poem written by one of our teens at Camp Mariposa, the program that helps teens whose families have substance use disorder. She wrote, "Addiction is what took my mother away when I needed her the most. Addiction left me with an empty space that I still don't know how to fill, and wounds I am still learning how to heal. So I will learn from all of you because I am you and you are me. We are on this journey together to find ourselves in all the places where we were left behind." In our counseling and ADAP program, we often see teenagers who are almost constantly irritable and can be eagerly triggered into outbursts. Recently, one of our teens was super excited as he had been able to use his learned counseling techniques to stop and breathe his anger out. And the incident that triggered him did not ruin his entire day. "So, this is what normal people do," he said. And let me share a time with Ben, a 98-year-old member of our Senior Outreach Services program, who came in to share that this was the 6th anniversary of his wife's passing, and then said, "My life has turned around 180 degrees from where I was last year at this time. Last year, I could not find a reason to live, and now since I have joined this group, there are not enough hours in the day or days in the week to do everything that I want to do." You see, at JFCS, we work to change lives every minute, every day. We are impacting those in need, individuals and families impacted by substance abuse, homeless veterans, youth who have had a brush with the law, elderly who need assistance, and those who are the caregivers of someone with a cognitive disorder. We are giving them a hand up, as well as helping them to become self-reliant and gain the self-confidence needed to continue on their own. Our new tagline is "Help, hope for all. We believe in offering our resources through lending a helping hand, encouraging and supporting the hope one can find, and doing it together for all. Help, hope for all. Thank you for this opportunity to speak with you. Are there any questions? I know it's a lot to take in.
Can you elaborate just a little bit more about your prevention, your homeless prevention program?
Yes, we have homeless prevention in a couple of areas. One is with the veterans, obviously, which I just said. We basically go into, they come into us is through the veterans, with the Veterans Association, and we go find them on the street. They either come to us, we put them in temporary housing, look to move them into permanent housing. We support, we pay their rent for 6 to 9 months, and then we move them if they have the resources, meaning they have been able to get a job, which we help them with. They have been able to be healthy. They have been able to come off of addictive behaviors. And we go on to what we call shallow subsidies, which is where for 2 years we support them 50% of their rent and utility bills. We also provide, I'd say, homeless prevention, and that is for families who really go from hand to mouth. They're the working poor, they're people that they're one step away from losing their home, and we provide financial support to help them get over that hump. What we try to do is really help people sustain. So we don't give them a one-shot deal and then put them on their way. We keep with them. We have a full case management program that helps these individuals get the resources they need. In fact, Goodwill, I know, is here, and we work with them in terms of career, looking for jobs for these clients, and so we do it in a lot of different ways. But it's really to help them get off the street. And our staff literally find people in the fields.
Last thing, I'm sorry. How would I be able to contact your program if I knew nothing about it? How do you get the word out?
This is it. This is what I'm doing. We have brochures. I can give you the phone number. You can call. I can put you in touch with whoever you need. You can call me directly. But yeah, we're really looking, and now, you know, and we're very big in mental health with youth too. I think it's important to understand, because what we're trying to do is divert them. So our ADAP program is really about getting kids that have had a brush with the law back on track. So we deal with a lot of anger management with them, how to handle like this young adolescent that said, so this is what normal people do. You know, to really get an understanding of, you know, how they can do things differently and make different choices in their life.
Do you have, this question is along the same lines, do you have an office? Do you have like a facility where
Yes.
people come to you, or they?
No, we go out to the community. We do have a facility, and we do run classes a lot of times in our facility. However, we go out to the community. So we have a large Hispanic community. We have a large African-American community now that's involved. We're involved through the schools, so we got a lot of referrals from the Sarasota schools, from the Manatee schools, to help. And our view is that you need to help the whole family. Just helping the individual, the child, is not enough. What you need to do is make sure that their family is strong and healthy. So through our program like Ignite, the fatherhood program, or the relationship program, our REACH program, that's how we do that, and we work with the kids. So we've had a daddy-daughter dance in the community, which was phenomenal. We had a block party in Newtown. We, you know, take it. Everything is, our services are all free. We charge for nothing. We do it through, obviously, fundraising and grants. And It's very rewarding. Yes.
What's your capacity? I mean, do you have a wait list for some of these services? Are you able to fill all the needs you're finding right now?
We're growing and making it happen, I have to say. We do not have a wait list for most of the programs, and if it is, it's a very short. Maybe the counseling is the one area that we are rapidly growing now. In fact, now we are just got funded for a new program, Children Youth Response Services, and that will be emergency services for people whose kids are not at risk, emergency risks, but are lonely or depressed or have eating disorders or are cutting themselves, isolating, those kinds of things. And we provide a service to go out with them right away to provide a stability for them for 3 months until they can get into a regular program. So it's really like a bridge.
Who are you doing your job training through?
We do it through Goodwill. We do it through career services. Yeah.
You mentioned a couple places in Sarasota. Are you doing anything in Manatee County as well?
We service Manatee County, yes, Sarasota and Manatee County, and all the way down Fort Myers. We're down in Fort Myers and go with our OMAP program, the Veterans Program, all the way to Naples, Port Charlotte. Yes.
So who are your major, funding sources?
Well, we have 3 federal grants.
Okay.
One grant is for the homeless veterans program. And then we have 2 federal grants. One is for the fatherhood program, and one is for the parenting or relationship program. So we have those 3 main grants. The rest are some local foundations. We've just received a very generous donation from the Bradenton Foundation. Help us but they helped us expand into Manatee. It's for the ADAP program and helped us expand into this county. We had challenges coming into this county.
Why do you think that?
I don't know. I think people have a big misconception about who we are. First of all, I think people think we only serve Jewish people, so which isn't true. And so they think that it's a limited resource. I think the other thing is that we've been through a lot of change in terms of leadership, in terms of professional leadership, and we're finding our grounding again after the last 7 years. So I think some of it, we had a low profile.
Money? Do you have fundraising events?
Yes,
Like a
yes,
tournament?
we do, yes. Not a golf tournament, no.
Or, and I'm just,
Yes, we do have fundraising events. So the rest of the money is philanthropic. Many of our programs are supported through philanthropic dollars.
okay, so it's through philanthropy.
Yes. Organizations like yourself. I mean, if you do fundraisers, we have people that designate to us, things like that.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Just one more question. So, for what you're saying, it sounds awesome. I mean, if I'm driving down the road and I see a homeless person on the side of the road with a sign asking for money, could I call your organization and I say, hey, there's a guy on the corner of 14th and Manatee, will you come and pick him up?
We would go to him. I mean, he'd have to be a veteran that has been honorably discharged, so it can't be somebody, so there's criteria with the VA that we have to follow. But yeah, if you called and said there's somebody standing at, Fruitville and Tuttle, or somebody standing on Manatee Ave, yeah, that program goes throughout all of our counties.
Okay, well, because, I mean, like I said, how many times I see somebody with a sign, it's like disabled vet, I need money, so it's great. Now that I know you exist.
Yes.
But only if he's honorably discharged?
Yes.
So you had no program for a vet that maybe was dishonored discharged, but he's in a bad way out?
We do not have a program because our monies come from the federal government, and they're the ones that set the criteria for that. So we deal with very troubled souls, people that are suffering from addiction, that, like I said, are in the streets, that have been honorably discharged. Most of the people, all of the people that we deal with. But, we're willing to help anybody, so I may not be able to help them through the OMAP program, but I could help them through one of our other programs like Building Stronger Families to help them get into a place for stability. Yes?
Hi, I'm James Cardwell II from Turning Points, and I wanted to ask you, what are some of your greatest needs in your organization that a community organization can assist with?
Well, we need volunteers. We're looking to build our volunteers. We always need financial resources to have that kind of support to continue to do our program, but Tricia and I do that full time, raising funds, and we're doing well, and we'll continue to do. But you're only as good as your last dollar, kind of, right? It's you get a grant, and then you have to write the grant again, and or convince people, your philanthropic donors, that this is a worthwhile cause, and to keep giving, not just do a one-time situation. So we are always in fundraising mode. We need staff. We definitely need staff. We are looking to hire therapists, case managers, because we're growing very quickly. And so we have a lot of job openings. We're right at Fruitville and Tuttle, if you know, in the Sarasota area. That's where we are. We're a long white building with some blue striping on it, and that's our main office. We have a separate counseling office, and we're even entertaining, as we build out in Manatee, do we need an office out here? So.
Is there an address to your office?
An address? Yes. Yes, it is. 2688 Fruitville Road. Yes.
I'm with the Christian Care Alliance of Manatee, which has been here in the area now for 40 years, formerly known as Manatee Religious Services. I can just speak to everyone real quickly and say JFCS has been a valuable partner with us, even here in Manatee County, in meeting some of the community needs.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other questions?
All right.
All righty.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
All right, come over here with me, take a picture. As tradition with Bradenton Kiwanis, we'd like to present you with our much-coveted golden ruler to measure your future success.
Oh,
There you are. Thanks
my
very much.
pleasure. Thank you.
Well, thanks for
I
coming.
can use this.
Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
All right, well, we had a great week last week. So excited to be Arnold mentioned. It was awesome to stand up in front of our district in Orlando and be able to hold this banner and represent Bradenton. I think something else you walk away from going to these two conventions this year is that we are incredibly blessed to be the club we have, and to be the responsibility that we carry on to continue being the light in our community and to continue to make sure we spread the good word about Kiwanis. That we should be able to grow this club and make sure that everyone in this community knows if they want to be a part of the one that's actually doing something and actually making a difference, Bradenton Kiwanis is the place to be. So I want to tell you all, thank you again. Thank you so much for coming today. And next week is the football coaches. Is that right? Southeast and Manatee. So, come, and if you're an alumni from either, we'll wear your colors. It's going to be great. Otherwise, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.